Hello and welcome to Talk from Superheroes. Hey everybody, I'm Andrew Ivemy.
And I'm Diana McCullum.
And you're listening to Talk from Superheroes, where every week we discuss a piece of heroic television or film. And this week on the podcast, we are talking about the first season of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
Our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He's ours.
They really tell us that it's us.
He belongs to you.
That's nice.
That's nice. Literally just noticing that for the first time how much I like that.
That it's not just friendly neighborhood, it's your.
Yeah. He's got us.
Yeah. Even though he's in New York, he could be your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Yeah, if he'd hopped on a plane, he'd be my friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
If his heroism is not New York reliant, if him and May moved, then they would just kind of bring that heroism.
He creates a circle of friendliness.
Yeah.
That moves with him to whatever neighborhood he's in.
It's an area of effect attack.
Or I could go to New York.
Yeah, and then it's fine.
If I was in New York, I'd be in his neighborhood. Anyway, we're talking about the wonderful cartoon show. Do we consider this MCU, or is that... I mean, it's definitely Marvel.
It's not MCU
debatable.
because they don't use the MCU title card. They say it's Marvel Animation is a delineation studio, so it's not a delineation of their main studio.
Oh, what a phrase, though.
You like that?
Holy shit! I work at a delineation studio.
Look at a delineation studio.
Damn, it sounds like they're making the multiverse. Oh, they are.
They are.
They are making the multiverse at the delineation because they also make What If.
You got to think about it that way.
Fuck, I'm getting my mind blown 2 minutes in.
So, not MCU technically, but a creation of Marvel and definitely MCU influence, which we will get into. Because what we are going to do, since this is a new television show, anytime that we discuss a new television show or film, we always give you a spoiler-free review. So in case you're on the fence about seeing it, not sure if it's worth your time, we're going to give you a spoiler-free review of this show. Then, once you hear the theme music, we will enter the spoiler-filled section. So let's start with the spoiler-free review and the usual question. Diana, did you like this?
I really liked it. It's not quite a love, but I really liked it. This is some real good Spider-Man. The show is Spider-Manning really well. This is Peter Parker personified. He's trying to save everyone. He's worn too thin. He's pulled in many directions, but he's doing his gosh darn best. He's just a little guy, and he's real smart, and he's got friends. So the show works on a lot of levels. It's a really well-structured season of a show. I really love that about it. It's 10 episodes, but it's plotted out well. It all comes around really well, circles together. It all connects really well for the most part. Really impressed with that. I really like most characters. Some are loves, some are likes. They're very well developed. I like where we're going with this Peter, this kind of reimagining that isn't like too much of a reimagining. Sometimes it's like...
Reimagining is also... That's...
Reimagination. He's been reimagined.
Yeah, so I would have said reimagining, but reimagining.
This reimagination...
I love it.
Of Peter. It's not like too hardcore. Sometimes a reboot is like, he's a knight from 1800. And I'm like, that's a little much. But this one is... or he's got more pockets like the 90s. This one is a really nice mix of like classic, couple little changes, MCU changes, other changes. So yeah, I really like it. I would think the slight negatives, some of the characters I think are a little flat. I think there could be more jokes. But I think emotionally it really works. Storyline-wise, it really works. It's visually really fun. Yeah, great show. Great show. Andrew, did you like Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man?
Yeah, I'm about on the same page as you. I really liked it. It's not quite a love, but I really enjoyed this. It's not quite as good as like X-Men 97 when it comes to the animation quality that Marvel is putting out. But it's great. It's fun. It's charming. If you are into Spider-Man in any way that one might be into Spider-Man, this is more of that, and it understands its core and its heart. It is a person trying their best with villains who are flawed but trying their best for their own purview of the world. And then people who are villains who are stuck in an unfortunate circumstance, also trying their best. So it is classic redeemable villain Spider-Man, boy trying his best Spider-Man, and just a fun tweak on this. I think that Spider-Man's one of those characters that really works no matter what the reimagining is. It updates really well and transfers to other universes really well. I think that's why the multiversal Spider-Man idea worked so well, both in live action and animated film as well. It's why different variations. It's why it's one of the more rebooted ones. It is just depending on what year and what is going on in the world, there is a slightly different portrayal of what trying your best looks like, which is the core of Spider-Man, and why it updates and modernizes, I think, so smoothly.
Wow.
Whereas, a lot of other superhero properties, while they have like meaning and depth, and will explore like injustices in the world and be social parables as to what's going on, there's like a major civil rights movement every 10 or 20 years that the X-Men will represent, but Spider-Man can be every 2 to 3 year updated of like what does struggling in high school look like.
He's a more updatable man.
Yeah.
He's got constant updates coming through on the phone.
So I think it feels updated, it feels fresh. There's a couple of new takes, but it still feels like the core of what this character is. I love Spider-Man, and I really like this show, and I recommend people watch it.
Are you about to say the theme song
if
slaps?
Only for the theme, and as well for the theme song. It slaps. It slaps.
It slaps.
It slaps. This is one of the best. This is the best theme song I've heard in I don't know how long. Like recent history. I can't think of something better than this.
I mean, I'm going to go off on a limb and say I love every Ninja Turtles theme song, and I sing them all constantly.
They do all work in different ways.
So Ninja Turtles I'm going to put up there, but this is, talking about like modern reimaginings, like this is such a perfect mix of the old and the new and the modern and the classic Spider-Man. It's a great theme song.
This is the energy of a 90s animated theme song using the basis of the 60s with modern music, but with the heart of the 90s in it.
Yeah,
it is somehow,
like how the 90s one was like so hardcore rock and roll, like diddly-dee. It's like, it's not that, but it's the 2020s version of like modern music.
But it's the 90s version of going that hard on a theme song, which things don't do other than Ninja Turtles in the past 20 years.
Thank you for agreeing about Ninja Turtles.
I'll always give some love to the Turds.
We love the Turds.
We love the Turds. But yeah, this theme's just, I get uncomfortably excited every time it plays.
There's a few shows that you just have to take the skip intro button away from.
I'm going to say all, but there's a few of them that should be straight to jail if you hit it.
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
It should make it smaller or harder, or like, are you sure?
Yeah.
It's going to slap. Like a second button should come up if you try to skip the intro.
It should delete your account. It should come up and just say, you don't deserve this. And Disney should kick you out.
Yeah. We don't need your dollars.
Yes.
Yeah. Unless you're skipping it the first time and you don't give it a chance, and then it makes you listen. No option.
Well, then you just get 2 pop-ups. You get, you should give this a chance. Are you sure?
You're going to lose Disney forever.
You still hit, no, it doesn't tell you you're going to lose it.
Oh, no warning.
It's up to you to have the morality of conscience to know that you need to watch and enjoy this theme song.
Babe, I don't know if that's the spirit of Spider-Man. You got to give people 2 chances.
Yeah, I'm not him, I'm not him.
But you love Spider-Man. That's why we have Spider-Man. Guys, this is why we have Spider-Man, because Andrew's not him. That, or he's doing a really good job of making me believe he's not
I'll throw
Spider-Man.
you off the set. No, people should just get kicked out of their Disney account if they hit skip intro.
Okay.
That's it. Deleted.
Okay.
You don't deserve it.
All right. Andrew says that. Sorry, everyone's account.
And can it be spoiled?
It can be spoiled.
Yeah, I agree that it can be spoiled. It has some nice twists and variations on what you expect from a Spider-Man story in here.
Yeah, some nice updates, some nice twists. Nothing like crazy, but enough that I'm like, I'm glad I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Anytime that I'm glad I didn't know that, it's got spoilers.
It's got spoilers. Yeah. So it's great. We recommend that you watch it. It can be spoiled. At the very minimum, go watch the theme song. And if you skip the theme song, delete your account.
Bye, your account.
Let's get into the spoiler-filled section of the episode. Let's talk more about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. All right, we have watched the entirety of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. We're in the spider-filled section.
Oh, spoiler spiders.
I should have said spoiler, but I just flubbed and said spider.
Oh, but it was purpose. No, that was the thing you did on purpose.
It was the thing I did on purpose. That's why I didn't quite commit to it on the first. Anyway, but we have seen it all. Let's get into it. I think that it's great.
I think that it's really great. Yeah. I mean, I think off the top, what I said that I really like is I really appreciate that this is just also a really well-structured season of television. I love the way this whole season plays out of Peter being like a year one early Spider-Man, getting new suits, kind of leveling up with each villain in like kind of a video game-esque kind of way. But I love the way these villains are coming, which is that they're all being created by Doc Ock, because that is it's so much cleaner than being like, here's 8 villains who all have different backstories of how you became a Rhino and you became a Scorpion. And it's like, no, they all just have Doc Ock tech. I think that's so clean. I think it's simple. I think it's straightforward. I love that. I love that Doc Ock doesn't have like a grand scheme. Because normally these kind of shows, if you're like, one guy's making all this tech, what's he trying to do? It's like, Doc Ock just wants money. I love that.
Yeah.
Because so many of these
He's just kind of a wiener.
He's kind of a wiener.
He's angry and he's kind of a wiener.
And he's really smart.
Yes.
But he does not have an overarching plan. He's not like, and now the unicorn has used her laser helmet, and that's the perfect piece.
He just sold a helmet.
He just sold a helmet. It's so clean and easy. And I'm not like, oh, you're not those bullshit villains that are like, you've walked right into my trap by defeating the unicorn. I hate those guys. I hate those guys.
Yeah.
So I love the way this whole season is played out of like, it's Doc Ock, but it's Osborn and it's Doctor Strange.
He barely notices or knows Spider-Man exists.
He doesn't care. Spider-Man doesn't stop him.
Yes.
The regular police do.
Yeah. And Iron Man.
And Iron Man. That's a negative to me.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting.
I don't like using characters that aren't fleshed out. I think Doctor Strange works because he bookends and he makes a lot of sense and he gets a whole episode. Daredevil, I kind of like. I don't really love because he doesn't actually do anything. He just fights Spider-Man and never ends up warning him.
Yeah, so that's one of the spoilers. Daredevil, as voiced by Charlie Cox, is in this as well.
Love that he's voiced by Charlie Cox. But then, yeah, just having Iron Man capture Doc Ock and not having it be plot relevant in any way, I was like, that's dumb.
That's interesting.
I think that's dumb.
I'm going to defend that one, actually.
Okay.
I'm going to defend that one. I understand where you're coming from. It's definitely not as developed as the rest. But I think that there is something nice here about the world-building angle of that is very... It feels very comic books, and it feels very antithetical to what Marvel in film does right now, which is everyone has to be involved in the biggest plot lines of all time. And I like the idea that Doc Ock doesn't really know or care that Spider-Man exists and is out of Spider-Man's weight class at the moment. I like this establishment of there is a world where a supervillain is making gamma radiation enhanced super tech and is arming people on the streets of New York. And Iron Man stopped that because Spider-Man's cleaning up the mess that's falling down from that. I really like the scale that this has established for New York versus the general MCU, and a lot of stuff now can be just everything's one event and everyone has to be involved with the one thing. And I like that it's just no, he's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. He deals with the dude who bought the thing, not the guy who sells the thing, or at least at the moment. And while I agree that Iron Man isn't really a character per se in this, he has enough cachet and pop cultural understanding that I think you can get away with that, and I like the scale it establishes.
Okay. I disagree about the scale. I like the scale when they don't have the characters. I like talking about how the Civil War is happening and Spider-Man's not involved. So, no, Iron Man and Captain America exist, but they're in a different country fighting each other. Civil War is happening. I think that's good. I think when you actually have Iron Man show up and have one singular line, it feels like when you film scenes that are just for trailers of movies and don't have any impact. To me, I'm like, oh, so it was a lie that Iron Man was in this show. So you lied to me. Iron Man wasn't really in this show.
Okay.
But I get what you're saying about a grand scheme. I think that it does build the whole world out. But I think when you already have Daredevil and Strange, we really didn't need Iron Man.
Okay.
Because then it didn't even play into this. I thought because they bring up the Sokovia Accord so much, I'm like, oh, is Peter going to have to reveal his identity? Or is that his moral choice he's going to have to make? And that doesn't come up at all.
Yeah.
So I would definitely not have Iron Man here.
Okay, I respect where you're coming from there.
I respect where you're coming from. I like the idea. I do like the idea of Spider-Man cleaning up the messes that are too small for Iron Man.
Yeah.
Like as a first year training wheels idea. I think that's great.
No one notices that he's out there cleaning them up. Like he is so insignificant that he's not even really on the radar of the Sokovia Accords. Like he's literally just a kid with a gas canister on his back who stopped one mugging once. Like he is not on the scale of Captain America being hunted to be sent to jail. Like
no,
it is.
He stopped a bus from crashing, but that doesn't really make the news because it didn't crash.
Yes.
A bus not crashing isn't much of a story, even if it's really cool and good that you didn't crash that bus.
Yeah. So I like the scale that he's operating at, but maybe it could be done without Iron Man. So I see where your head's at there. Yeah.
But yeah, but then the rest of the season structurally, like every character arc of all the characters, of Nico, of Harry, of oh my God, Lonnie. Oh, Lonnie.
You're breaking my heart, Lonnie.
I'm busted over Lonnie.
Lonnie broke you, I think.
Lonnie broke my heart. This is the most tragic character I've ever seen. Like, genuinely.
It's rough.
It's really rough. Like this, and it's so grounded and it's so real, this story of like how smart, good people can find themselves in bad situations and lose all their opportunities and fall in with the wrong crowd. And it's really important, but it makes me so sad. He's such a nice guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a nice guy. He's a sweet guy. And like the storyline also has something to say just about the opportunities you're presented based on the environment that you exist in, as well as that he has all of these opportunities in one area of town and then not in the other. And in fact, the other, it is negative opportunities and things that are statistically likely to harm your life long term as well. So
that's why he lives in another area of town. I was actually kind of conflicted about what they're trying to say about that, just because like they go to the same school and all of Peter's opportunities are from a black man. So I was like, that's not very privileged, like in the hierarchy of things happening. But you're right, Lonnie does have to go to a very bad neighborhood. That's part of it.
Well, I think that this show has kind of smartly, because like there's a lot of things that they are complexly dealing with, has kind of separated wealth and privilege as two different issues that, while intermingled in a lot of actual societal problems, where it's like both Lonnie and Peter are not necessarily coming from a place of wealth, but Peter is coming from a place of privilege and opportunity, even in being in the neighborhood that he is in, and having the opportunities that he has. So they've separated wealth and privilege, which usually those are bed buddies, and wealth and privilege do typically go hand in hand and sleep together and live together and do everything together. But sometimes this show is doing, I think, a very smart but complex job of separating those two as separate issues, and I think it's very well done.
I think it is very well done. The paralleling of their two stories is so incredible, which is really highlighted, I think, in, I don't remember if it was 9 or 10, when they start working together to fight Scorpion, and they both get half a face, showing that they're like working together and we could both be Spider-Man. Because I was just thinking about like the parallel stories they both kind of hitch their wagon to a powerful man who like protects them and who they like decide to work with, and they're being used by both of these men. And it really is just like, which one did you sign up for? It ruins your life or it makes your life better. Like it's just such a story of like, it could happen to anyone.
Yeah.
These are two guys who are both self-sacrificing to the point of self-destruction. Like Lonnie ruins his life, Peter almost dies.
Yep.
He almost ruins several of his relationships, not many, but so they're very, very similar. And just seeing how little it takes to push you off the right path it's tragic, it's heartbreaking. Lonnie was such a great guy, just the way that he wanted to like loved Peter and hyped him up and didn't want to use him for his knowledge to like, well, he did want to use him for his brain, but to learn from him, not to just like be like, do my reports and stuff.
Yeah.
Like just such a good guy that I love, that I am heartbroken he stayed in the gang.
Well, even the ending, I think it still parallels them, because it doesn't just parallel their journey. I think it parallels their conclusion as well, because in the fact that Lonnie ends up taking over the 101st gang.
I want to say 110.
110, the 110 gang.
Some number of gang.
Insert number, gang. So Lonnie takes over that gang after their leader kind of abandons them after putting them in a dangerous situation. That is also what Peter does now, starting Webb and trying to give all these other interns a job now that they've lost their position after Oscorp put them in a dangerous position. So it's not just loyalty to a sense of fault that they both have. It is also a sense of obligation as a leader as well, as to what they have to do for the people who have been let down, which they both step up to in different lives and worlds, but they both step up to a leadership position then for taking care of the people who've been let down by the false leaders that they've kind of gone underneath the whole time.
Yeah, I agree. It continues to be parallel. It still makes me sad, but it continues. Yeah, the absolute parallel between them is incredibly well written and well drawn out, and they make you have so much sympathy for Lonnie and to feel for him so deeply. Incredible character arc.
Incredible character arc, wonderful voice actor. He does a great job of it as well.
Yeah, so likable, so charming.
I mean, frankly, everyone is in this. Like, every voice I'm just kind of 100% on board with. I like what they're doing across the board.
I like most of what they're doing.
There's some iffies.
I don't like Nico.
Oh, no?
No.
Okay.
Kind of not in any way. She's not doing anything for me.
I think you don't like the writing of Nico, for sure.
I don't like the writing of Nico. Her voice is fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, her voice actor's doing a fine job. I guess it's not a bad job. But yeah, I don't like the writing of Nico. I just don't like her as a person. I think she makes total sense because, she's a foster child who has no family and very few friends. So she has abandonment issues. So of course she's latching onto Peter very hard and she doesn't want to lose him. So everything she does is very logical. But just because I understand her doesn't mean I'm I like you. I think she's a little nothing or annoying.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, Nico, I don't like. And I don't like the hypocriteness of it.
I agree with not liking that, but I like that she is there. I don't think that every character needs to be likable necessarily, even though that in fun shows like this, often they are. It's not like I'm watching Severance or Yellow Jackets here. It's just everyone can be kind of fun and likable. I don't need to be challenged by people necessarily in this show. I'm definitely more frustrated by things like this or things in the superhero genre where someone lacks likability or has this kind of attitude and they're an adult character. I think that Nico does kind of play that fine line as a teenager where she never really goes off and blows up her friendship with Peter, but there's moments of passive aggressiveness and pissiness or a kind of shitty text, but not a go fuck yourself text, just a oh, that's fine that you did that. And it's it's clearly not fine, but you said that it's fine. And it's just something about that where I'm that is kind of real and how teenagers communicate. And you can run hot 1 minute and be passive aggressive and then the next day pretend it doesn't happen and move on. As long as it doesn't get too heated or out of hand, I can kind of get on board with that as a character that kind of feels true to me. Mm-hmm. So Nico kind of feels true to me as well. And I like this kind of this adopted goth girl energy that she brings. It's funny, I think, that everyone in the show wears the same outfit every day, all of the time, as a very traditional cartoon. They are Simpsoning it the entire time. But something about being a goth girly, Nico is the only one where I'm oh yeah, you do wear this outfit every day.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone else technically wears the same outfit every day just because of animation, but she does I feel that she does wear that outfit every day.
Or if she does wear a different outfit every day, it is so infinitesimally different.
Yes.
Goth girl outfits just aren't, there's not a wide range.
1,000%.
It's black and it's lace, and you're good. You're done.
She has 4 to 10 imperceptibly different black t-shirts, and she is changing them, and she's not sneaky, but she does wear the same outfit every day.
Yeah. Even in the real world, she would look like a cartoon character because she would photograph in the same outfit every single day.
1,000%. So she rings real to me.
I will agree with everything you just said, and she does ring real, but no one else acts like a teen the way she does. So you would have to have because most of these are teens who act like adults and talk like adults. She is acting like a teen, I completely agree.
Fair.
But it stands out when no one else does this kind of teen stuff, this just hormonal, I don't understand my emotions yet kind of stuff.
Fair.
So it does pop out more. that she's the only one who acts this way.
Fair. I think Lonnie and Pearl have it to a certain degree as well. Of like
Lonnie and Pearl are like communicating.
They are. Lonnie won't tell her. She didn't know they're dating, and she didn't know what area of town he lived in until an emergency cropped up. Like,
but
they don't communicate at all.
He didn't like lie though. He just didn't tell her. It's a weird kind of difference.
And I think that is the same level of flawed communication that Nico brings to her friendship as well.
See, I think Nico is just a regular teen in that way, and that's part of Lonnie's like story.
Ah, okay. All right.
But these are interesting takes.
I'll take my foot off the gas on this one. I'm clearly not selling you on the Nico of it all.
You're not selling me because we didn't even get to the biggest thing where I'm like, I hated the hypocriteness of her being so mad that Peter didn't tell her he was Spider-Man because she has a magic medallion.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, here's a weird thing that like this shouldn't bother me so much, but she's so latched on as a best friend, and I'm like, you've known this guy for like 5 months.
He did save her life.
He did save her life, but that's not like a lifelong friendship. Like in the movies, he seems to have known Ned since like kindergarten.
Right,
like,
right.
If I've known someone for 5 months, they're not getting my secrets. You're not getting my secrets 5 months in.
I agree with that. They're also in grade 10.
10, yeah.
9 or 10.
Because Pearl's 2 years old.
When you're in grade 9 or 10, 5 months is a fucking eternity to have a friend. That is your whole personality. That you're when you're a teenager, you're like molting personalities like a snake does skin. Like every year you are a ship of Theseus new human being. So I think a 5-month-long friendship.
I always think when you're a teenager, you choose your clique and your niche. I'm the goth girl. And that's your thing for 4 years.
Oh, interesting.
I'm a drama kid. I'm a skater. I'm a popular kid.
Oh, fuck.
I'm not in the short term. That's not my high school experience. It's not my high school experience.
You know what? My high school experience is hopping and shedding. But we've had different experiences. And now that I think on it, there are people who locked in. So I can agree with that as well. Some people locked in. and bless you for doing so.
Some people lock in.
Some people lock in.
We got clicks for reasons.
But I think 5 months long and saved a life. And then also I think clearly she did not really have any friends before Peter saved her life. And he was in a new school and did not have any friends as well. So you develop an extra bond there. On a goof, this isn't even me sincerely trying to defend Nico now, but we do always make fun of in superhero media when like someone's like so mad that their friend didn't tell them that they have superpowers. When it's like, no, of course we both as very reasonable adults, if I tomorrow was like I have superpowers, you'd be like, yeah, no, you were right not to tell. Like we would both be very cool.
That would have
about
stressed
it.
me out so bad.
I think I would be more mad in Nico's position, not because of the hypocritical nature of it. I would be pissed because I'd be like, I could have told you my secret. Fuck. We were in this deadlock of neither of us telling the secret. I've wanted to talk to someone about my magical amulet for a while. And I'm like, well, I can't tell Peter. He's not going to understand a magical amulet. And now you're a Spider-Man with a wizard? We could have been talking about magical amulet stuff.
Can you understand this magical amulet? She must have really been desperate to flag down Strange that day that he showed up. She must have.
Wait,
I got a magical amulet!
Where do I submit questions?
Is this about me? Is this about my magical amulet?
That could do it too.
I definitely would have thought if a giant portal opened.
If you have a magical amulet and a giant portal opens in front of you,
you think it's about the magical amulet.
You certainly would.
That's the conclusion you jump to.
A sorcerer comes out. And and something that looks like a demon, you think that's going to be about you.
I mean, speaking of Nico finding out, I said earlier that I wish there was like a little bit more jokes, but literally a line that ruined me, and it was the greatest line read of all time, is when Harry says, "I thought she knew."
He sells it.
I laughed for hours.
He sells it so well.
This was one of the best line reads of all time when he thought she knew and he told her. He feels so bad.
He's really good.
I thought she
knew. He does a really good at that job of that voice. He's just a good character.
Are you
he nails
looking up
it.
Harry? He's really far down the IMDb for some reason.
Oh, that is kind of surprising. Yeah, but either way, the person who voices Harry does a great job.
Yeah, I think it's because he's only in 7 episodes.
Okay.
It's by number of episodes.
Well, either way, I think a really good job there. And I really like Coleman Domingo as Norman Osborn as well. I think that he's a good Norman.
I think he's great. I really like this Norman a lot. I like so many things about him. I love the race bend. I'm just going to say that.
Oh, it's great.
I'm going to throw that out there.
It works.
Never made sense that he was white with that hair.
No, not at all.
Like, what are you? Show me a white man who has a black wavy hair. Like,
yeah, it never made any sense.
Had black
it
hair?
always just felt like a printing error. Like, it always just kind of felt like that, you know?
Yeah, like there's no white man you could cast that fits that hair. So he should have been black this whole time. We've been drawing him that way.
Yes.
Yeah, some kind of error. But yeah, I like Coleman Domingo. I like this, like, because Norman's so interesting because he's, like, often not just evil off the top. He does have to fully Green Goblin before he, like, evils. So I do love this just, like, kind of manipulative, but actually trying to do science at the same time Norman. I have no problem with him building a Stargate. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah.
I think Stargates are cool.
Yeah.
And I think we should be allowed to explore space, Doctor Strange. It sucks that there was a Venom on the other side of that first portal.
Yeah. And it's not even one of those things. So he builds a Stargate, and then all the scientists who work on it, first of all, are mad because they're like, you didn't tell us. You're interns.
You signed contracts?
Of course he didn't tell you. Why would he?
Anything you ever create will be used for evil means. Welcome to science.
Yes.
Welcome
to billionaire science.
Yeah.
And, you know, taking even that out of the equation to be like, there's no scenario in which a billionaire scientist and their corporation asks you to build something, and it's not for weird profit or evil gains.
Unless it's like medical breakthroughs. But even then, it's for profit.
And even then, it's for profit, and they'll jack up the cost of medicines and all that. The corporations are evil. But even if you take all of that, it's like, yeah, why you've been here a week. Why would they tell you what the company's grand plan is for like a global role of the craziest thing? No, you all just work on your things separately, and they came together to make a Stargate.
Yeah, and I mean, it doesn't say a lot about Oscorp that they needed 4 interns to build every component of the Stargate.
Right.
They weren't like, we were so close.
They were like, well, these children.
We were at 0.
We were at 0, and these children cranked it out in 4 months.
Yeah, Webb is going to be incredible.
Yes.
Unless Amadeus Cho was doing all the heavy lifting.
I think, and you know, a lot. They'll need money. Harry's
got money.
Yeah.
Harry's got money.
Some money. He's got some money. He's got a little bit of money.
He's got sponsorships.
But yeah, a Stargate's fine.
A Stargate's fine. I don't understand why you wouldn't, like, Doctor Strange kind of vibing that the first one was going to go to a Venom world. Okay, just let them open one that is just open space.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you can't, I don't think you should be allowed to tell us we can't open portals. You've got portals.
Out of legitimate science. Like, and that's like showing up in front of like an early Tony Stark and be like, you can't make a really powerful battery, and bad things will happen later. But like, you don't get to decide that.
No.
Fuck off, Doctor Strange.
Innovation's gonna happen. And what if it's good? What if we find good stuff?
Yes. And it's not even an evil power source. Because the normal version of this storyline that would commonly occur in comic books would be like Norman Osborn somehow captured like a friggin' space ghost that is in some kind of a container that's being electrocuted. And this weird ghost that clearly feels pain is what powers the Stargate.
He's using Venom to find the Venom verse of where Venom came from.
He made a deal with Mephisto to power and it's like, well, yeah, that's bad. Don't make a deal with the devil. But it's like, no, I made a good battery, and out of metals, I built a Stargate. Cool.
That's allowed.
It riffs.
Also, he sent Doc Ock to prison, who was making a lot of weapons out of gamma radiation. He's kind of batting 1,000 this season.
He's doing fine.
Literally, the only thing I have a problem with is taking Peter's blood against his will.
Yes.
And that's pretty minimal. It does lead me to my least favorite plot point of the entire season by far.
I'm going to 100% agree with you in advance, but take the floor.
I know you are, because we've talked about this on other shows. We hate time loops that start where they begin and never have a thing. Where's the spider come from? It comes from Peter, and Peter was always, fuck you. Peter was always the spider, and Peter made the spider. Where'd the spider originally come from?
What is the original opening of the loop? A time loop has to open at some point for it to begin. You're tired of hearing it, listeners? We're tired of yelling about it.
We're tired of yelling about time loops that just start where they ended and never have a first loop.
It happened because it happened, and that's why it happened.
Boo!
Fuck you.
Boo! Because I was so excited in the opening when the spider was from some kind of Venom verse. I'm like, that makes so much sense.
Mm-hmm.
It was a Venomed spider. I love that. It explains why Venom's going to be attracted to him later.
I also thought the same.
I thought it was such a good idea.
Oh, it's a spider from planet Null, or I think is what it's called. But yeah, like that's cool.
God, I don't know if that's the planet, but either way.
Yeah, I think it might be both.
You think it's both?
Yeah.
It's a planet Null and a Null?
I think.
Like a planet Hulk?
Something like that.
I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
I have no further information about Venom Planet. But yeah, that to me, I loved everything in this opening. I love that this might be a Venom spider. I loved Peter getting his powers while trying to save someone when he doesn't have powers.
Ooh.
Nom, 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 nom. Oh, it's delicious.
Ooh.
It's so Spider-Man. That's the greatest origin story Spider-Man can have.
Yeah.
And then they made it a time loop that doesn't have a beginning.
They made it a closed time loop.
Boo.
Boo.
And like, that's not even how the time stone works?
No, yeah, the time stone rewinds time.
Yeah, it doesn't go back like 6 months.
And fast
I guess
forwards,
maybe if you go through a portal, who knows?
It combined with a Stargate, but whatever.
I mean, no, it was just like the sling ring. It wasn't the Stargate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So sorry.
it was just
Sling ring
a-
plus time stone equals a time travel portal, I guess.
But I hated that, but I loved all these ideas of Peter's like new origin. Like, if it had been a Venom spider, I would have loved that. I hate what it actually is.
Yes.
Him getting it while saving someone. Oh, this is an interesting point that I wanted to check with you about how you feel about this. How do we feel about him, like, I get the impression Ben didn't die with him, like, with great power comes great responsibility. It kind of, this is a story that's removed Ben completely from the origin, although the MCU has from the beginning, because we've
Yes.
never gotten the death of Ben.
Yeah.
Just it's so mysterious.
I'm fine with it. Like I liked that the MCU did it. I think that it works again here for kind of a double reason where like it works for the same reason that the MCU works, where it's like this is a line that is within the zeitgeist to the point that we don't need to re-explore it. Uncle Ben's death is a thing that we've seen enough that we don't need to re-explore it. So I think it's just, if you have a familiarity with Spider-Man, which frankly all of us do, it has a cultural penetration where it's impossible to escape, then we don't need to do it again. So I think it works in that way, in the same way that the MCU works. I also think that it works really well since this is a play off of the MCU version that we're familiar with. And that's another thing that the show does really well, which is they are using some of the established lore of the MCU to kind of show this as a divisive timeline. Like this is a branch off. They're referencing Sokovia Accords as if this is a sequel to Captain America Civil War that Spider-Man happened to not be in. Mm-hmm. So this is a revisionist history, if you will, of the MCU. So because of that, they're keeping that the same, and I think that makes it fun and fine, that they're like, don't worry about Uncle Ben, because in the movie version, we get with great power comes great responsibility from Aunt May later on. So I kind of like that great power comes great respect from Norman Osborn in this revisionist history as well, which is, and then doing the Tony Stark scene, but with Norman Osborn there instead of Tony, I think is also a fun twist as well.
These were all really fun twists. No, I actually completely agree, especially in a cartoon, because I think when you're doing like a dramatic live action movie, the death of Uncle Ben actually is very powerful. It's very motivating. It really explains why he works so hard to be Spider-Man. But I think in a lighthearted children's cartoon, we don't need to see a father figure die and have a very like tragic knife to the heart kind of moment happening. So I'm also good with it, but I was curious about your opinions on it.
Totally good with it.
And I do like your idea that like I think this idea that this cartoon's doing of like the MCU version of Spider-Man is based on the comic book with changes, and now this cartoon is based on the MCU version but with changes. We'll just like edit it as it goes, like it's like copying a copy.
Yes. Yeah.
But it came out crisper?
But it came out...
We have really good photocopiers now.
Really good photocopy. It's a copy of a copy, but with like new artistic liberties each time as well. Yeah.
But yeah, I also really liked the Watcher at the end being like, this is a what if, by the way.
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't like that?
I didn't.
I thought that was cute. Just because we just watched What If like a month ago, I'm like, oh, this is just one of your episodes. You're just watching your stories, huh?
I only think it's not cute because nothing big enough had happened yet.
He has to watch every universe.
I mean, he does, but he's not in every scene of everything. So it's like he showed up in the big episode of X-Men 97, the one with multiple deaths.
Oh, yeah.
And a literally world-changing event. And he was there he was looking on while I, as a viewer, was crying. And this was just a scenario where it was like, he got bit by a slightly different spider at like a little bit of a different time.
Norman found a little venom.
And but like that hadn't even really kicked into gear yet. So it was really just more of a like, we also make that show. And I'm like, okay, I get it. But it had power when I saw it. In 97, when I saw it, I was like, oh shit. And in this one, when I saw it, I went, I know that guy.
You Leonardo DiCaprio?
Is that guy?
This is a real twisteroo for us, because about 20 minutes ago, I was mad about Iron Man being here and not having any relevance. We've really both kind of swung both ways on this.
Ships in the night.
I was like, oh, he's just there for a second. Like, if Iron Man had flown by without lines, I think I would have been fine with it. But he had a line.
He did have a line and a good voice match. I didn't catch who did it, but a very good voice match for Iron Man.
Voice match of Iron Man.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that brings me to Spider-Man.
Yes, let's talk about it.
Hudson Thames.
Yes.
Thames?
I'm going to assume Thames.
Thames, like the river?
I'm going to assume Thames like the river.
I thought this was very interesting because, tell me if you agree with me, I feel like in episode 1, he was doing a straight Tom Holland impression, and then after episode 1, he dropped about 50% of it. And just like kind of made it his own. Was still maybe some Tom Holland inspirations, but in the first episode, he had that kind of like talking around marbles thing that Tom Holland kind of has.
Whoa, what is it you want there, Mr. Stark? Like, it's big, it's wide.
It feels like there's something
Super American.
It feels like there's something in the middle of his mouth that he's talking around. This isn't a knock. I love Tom Holland.
Yeah.
But after episode 1, he kind of dropped it.
Yes. I think that it comes and goes in touches. I think it's one of those things where it's like, sometimes when they're trying to get, like, when any show is trying to get a voice match, there will be certain lines where it's dead ass perfect, and it's just like, oh, I know how that other actor would produce these syllables, and you can just nail it. And maybe it was just a bit more of that in the first one, because I actually felt it all throughout the series, but I felt it as a come and go kind of a thing. And I was all right. I was okay with it, actually. There was a fluidity to it where it's like, oh, we're kind of matching that energy. And sometimes it sounds very similar, but sometimes it is my own thing, but not so starkly different that it feels weird when it switches. It's just kind of felt like a natural human's voice where it's like there's ups and downs and some moments sound different than others. And some of those moments just happen to sound like Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Oh, I'll slightly disagree. Yeah, I think after episode 1, there was no ups and downs for me. I'm like, oh, we found the voice. He chose his choice for me after episode 1. Episode 1 felt like he walked in, he was like, gotta do my best Tom Holland impression. And then after that, he was like, they were like, episode 2, we filmed like 4 months later because the pilot's the pilot. And he's like, you know what? I've changed my mind.
Yeah.
That's my take.
I get that. I do think that the superior voice match is Carrie Walgren doing Aunt May as well. She's the superior voice match.
Really? I completely disagree. I love her performance and don't find she sounds like Marissa Tomei in any way.
She's doing more My Cousin Vinny. Like, she is doing...
Old Marissa Tomei?
Well, she's doing Marissa Tomei with 10% more jersey turned up, which makes it, I think, the right style of voice match should do, where it's like, hey, I'm doing something similar, and I've turned a dial to create 10% differential so that this is kind of its own thing, but it also reminds you of what it clearly is, like the same outfit and visual style. Like, this is clearly, visibly Marissa Tomei's Aunt May. But she's kind of doing a little bit of a tweak on that. And I think that that's the right instinct. And I really like that of this is Marissa Tomei, Aunt May, with a 10% more jersey.
I like 10% upping her, especially for it's a cartoon. It's lighthearted. She actually mostly has lighthearted scenes in this. I love every time she's yelling about the Bachelor in the background. It's very funny. This is a good running piece of personality for her. I think she's always mad about the Bachelor.
Yeah.
Just very lighthearted. I still, I mean, I'm not going to meet you in the point here because I don't find she sounds like Marissa Tomei at all. Now, one disappointing element of this is that the guy playing Peter seems to kind of suck a little in real life.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. No one says a show might be woke and annoying, or annoying and woke, I think was the line.
He was like,
if you
I
think it's good that it's woke.
He was like, I felt so glad it wasn't woke or whatever. And it's like, first of all, no one uses the term woke sincerely. If I hear anyone, anytime, like, don't get me wrong, a comedian like myself, can sarcastically use woke. And also, I'm going to say its close relative, cuck, as a joke, comedically.
I think those are really different energies.
But they have the same energy in the sense that when I hear anyone use either of those words with 100% sincerity, I'm like, oh, you're a problem. Those are only goof around words to make fun of a person who I think doesn't exist. Like people who use those words sincerely don't exist to me.
That's fair, because I really like how like diverse and inclusive this show is. Peter and May are the only white characters. Like it's fleshed out. It's very New York, and I think that's great. And I would never be like, I love how woke this show is.
Right? Yeah. Because
I would say diverse and inclusive.
Yeah. Say it. Yeah. It would be like, I love how like just modern and
updated.
Yeah. Just be like, yeah, it's great. It's just great, and it is diverse and inclusive. And we have gay characters, and we have a Black Osborne family finally. So it's like it is that. It is progressive. Progressive is the word that I would use. No one would sincerely say woke other than some of the worst people in the world.
In like the first year or two, we were using woke. We did say it sincerely.
Yeah, maybe.
And now
early on.
And now it's been taken away. That's a great point about. Okay, you brought me around on cuck.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I'm not sure I've ever said that word. I'm not sure I've ever said it out loud.
It is, you know what?
It doesn't feel good.
Earlier, we made fun of time travel loops. Cuck and woke are somehow its own time travel loop where it's like, I've only said it to make fun of people who say it, and I've only heard it said by people who make fun of someone who says it sincerely. So it's also a closed loop in itself. But anyway, the show's woke, you cuck. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing?
Take that, Spider-Man.
What are we doing here, Hudson Thames? Take your dumb hat off.
Yeah. Who the hell gets cast as Spider-Man? It says shit like that.
Who fumbles the bag so quickly and immediately as well?
I mean, I looked at his IMDb and he hasn't done much. So it's like, oh, people didn't know that you sucked. How'd you get this job?
Yeah.
How'd you get to be Spider-Man?
And like, just like a week before the show comes out as well. A show
Have
with
fun
like
not playing Spider-Man again.
Like, yeah, or like just laying low for a while, not getting other gigs, because it's just you fumbled the bag. So all you had to say was nothing, dummy.
Nothing, and like have fun working with literally the entire rest of this cast again.
An idiot. And then like I saw an interview with the showrunner as well, who is a black man, who basically just was like, Hudson do be saying stuff. Like it was such a like, it was typed out, but I could hear him sighing while it was typing. Like there is just a like, Hudson has a lot of concerns about the people in his life. And, oh boy, we've talked about them.
Oh, wow.
So it was just clearly it was like, this isn't you didn't find this out for the first time through this interview. Yeah.
That is an amazing thing to experience for a man that you've never seen be interviewed. Like if you see read an interview with an actor you know really well, I can hear it in their voice. I know how Chris Hemsworth would have said that.
Yeah.
But to read something of a man you've never seen the work of, be like, oh, he sounds tired.
He sounds tired. Tired. It was a quote from a Reddit AMA, and I was like, this man's tired.
Oh, I mean, Reddit would make you tired anyway.
Yeah, that is true.
Although, the AMAs are usually supportive, I think.
Yeah, I think that's actually a decent spot to be, but I could be wrong there.
But I could be wrong. I also am not on Reddit.
Yeah, but either way, that man was a fool because the show is progressive as hell, and I love that about it. It's very
so
fun.
Good.
It's a wildly diverse cast. He's the only.
He's literally the only white guy. Him and May. Him and May are the only white characters.
Yeah,
and then
and he's the only white guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So
get your shit together.
I mean, I guess Charlie Cox is here somewhere.
Oh yeah, I guess Charlie Cox is here somewhere, but
you gotta have.
But he's great. He's great.
Oh, he's such a good Daredevil. His character doesn't really matter, but I love him so much.
I'm actually gonna say he hit so hard in this to the point where it's like I love Charlie Cox's Daredevil, and it's like I'm glad that he's continuing to be Daredevil. He's a phenomenal actor. He's also phenomenal for that character. I think he portrays the different layers and depths and can do comedy in the moments that he had in She-Hulk, can do drama, is good at the fight scenes, carries a lot of it. And in this, I was like, holy shit, is he the voice of Daredevil more than anything? Like, his voice hits hard as Daredevil.
His voice hit so hard, and I think it was really noticeable when he was in the previously on, because you hear like 8 other voices and then you hear Daredevil. It's not just him and Peter, which was the only scene he had. So it's like, here's every other voice member in this cast, and then here's Charlie Cox. I'm like, oh, why was it in my soul?
Yes.
Why would, like, it felt like he was, like, whispering in my ear. Like, he wasn't yelling, but he was louder than everyone else. And he was, like, so clear. I don't even know how to explain Charlie Cox's voicing Daredevil.
Yeah, he does this breathiness about him where it's like, I know you're doing what you think is right, kid. But
it's breathy without being out of breath in any way.
He's never out of breath. It's always clean.
But not in a superhero way. It's so many layers. It's so complex.
He only breathes out, and it's just
no inhales.
It's no inhales. It's that one continuous breath. Huh.
Yeah, maybe that's it. But yeah, it sounded different, and I was like, are you just really good, or are you in a different voice booth? Because, like, you're, like, a big name
It does
actor.
sound different as well.
It does sound a little different. Did you see the thing earlier today where Anthony Mackie revealed that he, like, did his famous Endgame line recorded into his phone, the on your left line?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, the Russos were like, we need a line immediately. We can't get you to a booth.
Whoa.
Yeah,
not even get him to a booth. And I mean, like, that's running over, like, some crackly radio filters, which actually kind of, like, it hides it.
Maybe that's why the crackly radio filters.
Yeah, because that line comes in with the, like, on your left, and then, like,
he was like, I recorded that on my phone under a blanket.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
So
yeah.
you can record anything anywhere these days.
Yeah.
We got good microphones.
We got good microphones now.
We got good microphones
They don't need to be that
everywhere.
close, so it does work. But yeah, he's just great as the voice of Daredevil. And there's a gravitas to it. I think also partially because not that the other voice actors are doing traditional, like, cartoony voices. Like, no one is showing up in this and being like, I'm the Scorpion who wants to dance. Like, no one's doing over-the-top animated.
No one's a Batman villain.
Yeah, people are doing kind of, like, grounded animation. But Charlie Cox is doing Netflix's Daredevil. He's doing he's not even doing She-Hulk's Daredevil. He is doing John Bernthal is in the room intensely staring at him, and he had to deliver his lines. An intensity. Like, there's a burning to the lines that he delivers.
Daredevil might be the new, like, anchor character of the MCU. Because he's in No Way Home. He's in, like, the Marvel Netflix. Now he's in here and the cartoons. Like, yeah, is he going to be the new, I don't know if we want to say Coulson or Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine anchor character.
Sure. Yeah.
Anchor being.
Yeah.
Whatever. But yeah, I love that he's everywhere. I love this resurgence of Daredevil. This is great. The show better be so good.
It better be.
They
got some
he'll be good in it
here.
no matter what.
Yeah.
Which is what's nice.
Yeah. So that's something.
Yeah. Just to end on a Spider-Man note, maybe just like another little thing that I really liked. I liked the evolution of the suits throughout the season. As we said, this is like a year 1 Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I really liked seeing, like, I don't know if some of them were references I just didn't get. I only really knew the Future Foundation blue and white suit.
I think it was Future Foundation. I think that
What was the first one?
I think the first one was like a slight tweak on what the film first one was.
Oh yeah, because
which is
when he
just
meets
kind
Tony, he's just got like
a blue hoodie that's kind of cut up overneath like a red long sleeve shirt. They added like some canisters and a little bit more mechanical stuff. But yeah, I think it's meant to be a take off of the film version. Is the first one. Yeah,
and then all the throwaway ones from Osborn, I think were just jokes. I didn't recognize any of them.
I think they're either jokes or so deep divey that it's like you've got to be editing the Spider-Man wiki in order to even get it, kind of a thing.
Yeah. We're gonna be a couple layers deep on the wiki to be like, it's from this issue.
Yeah, it's Buzzbug from the 1974 Spider-Man short where he appeared in. Yeah,
This one's from the Hostess Fruit Snack cartoon.
Yeah.
I love those just fruit snack comics.
Yeah.
But yeah, it made a really great reveal when he finally got the classic costume. Like, it really felt earned. It felt like an actual reveal. It just felt nice when he showed up.
Yeah.
Even though I really actually like Future Foundation outfit.
I don't mind it. Yeah.
But I'm a Fantastic Four girl.
Of course you are. You like that color scheme. But it's like you need the you need the blue and red.
You need the blue and red.
You need the blue and red. And I think that was a
do.
good like comedic section of him trying other ones in the all black suit, like kids being scared of him. Here's your balloon back. A solid callback to the Spider-Man PlayStation 2 video game where kids are losing their balloons all the time. So yeah, some good lore there. But I agree. I like the build up of the costumes.
Yeah, nice. It all just felt nice. It felt like we were watching just a really nice Spider-Man story every single week when these aired.
Yeah.
And that feels good.
It did feel good.
It feels good.
It feels good. It makes me feel good. Well, let's go into the close. Let's ask the final question of what would you change? So now that we've discussed everything we've discussed, what would you change about this if you could change anything? Before we do ask that final question, we will remind you, as we do every week, to please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podcast Addict, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Wherever you're listening to this right now, you can probably leave a 5-star rating. You might be able to leave a review. You can leave one on. You can leave comments on Spotify. That's fun.
That is fun. We check those.
We check those. We reply to them. We like to know what you guys are thinking. And yeah, you can review on Podcast Addict and Apple and iTunes. It really helps us move up the charts. People are like, oh, people like the show. I'm also going to listen. And then we get more friends. You get more people. You get to be like, I listened earlier than you, and I'm cooler.
Yeah.
Don't you want to be cooler?
You want to be cool. You want to
Leave
be
those
cool.
reviews. Get us those fans.
So do that. And as well, if you want to support the show monetarily, you can do that over on Patreon, which is our monthly subscription service. You can subscribe at whatever is in your budget. And it helps us stay afloat. It helps us pay the bills, keep the network running, buy all the equipment and gear that we need, and eat as well.
Love to eat.
Love to eat. The way
Our
we live.
dog loves it. You're
He
helping
does.
support our dog.
You're supporting Scar with as little as a $1 subscription. You will get our webcomics early. You get a wonderful bonus at every single level. At $3, you will get these episodes early and ad-free. At the $10 level, you will get a bonus episode of this podcast every single month and all of the previous benefits as well.
And yeah, at the $10 level, you get an extra episode every month, and you get immediate access to the back catalog. There's so much more talk from superheroes. If you like us and you're here, you probably do. There's more of it waiting at patreon.com.
There's a lot going on in there. This month, what did we do this month?
We did Hollywood Homicide.
We did. That's right.
Because it had both Harrison Ford and Anthony Mackie.
For a minute.
It was a pretty brief Anthony Mackie.
But Harrison Ford was in there, and it's weird.
It's a mess, but we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, Josh Hartnett as well.
Josh Hartnett is the lead.
Yeah.
But he's not in Captain America.
And that was one of the questions we put out to the Patreon as well, is that Josh Hartnett and Harrison Ford are playing a buddy cop duo. And they are the least charismatic buddy cop duo we've ever seen in any buddy cop film ever.
It's two straight men.
Yeah, it's two straight men. It doesn't. Neither of them work. If any of you can think of a worse buddy cop pairing than Harrison Ford and Josh Hartnett, let us know, because I want to find it. You know,
we haven't seen it. Isn't there like a Bruce Willis Kevin Hart one that's real bad?
Oh, that one.
Ride Along?
No, Ride Along's a different thing.
Okay, I think there's one that's supposed to be very bad with them, but I haven't seen it.
All right, interesting.
So I'm going to put some seeds out there. Maybe that.
I think that was like the Kevin Smith one that had multiple scripts, but I forget. We'll look it up.
Guys, help us out.
Help us out. Well, what are other bad buddy cop duos? So we covered that on the Patreon this month. If you want to buy just that episode or any of the previous Patreons, you can also buy individual episodes for $5 or $10 to subscribe to them all. All the options are available over on our Patreon page at patreon.com/fromsuperheroes. That is patreon.com/fromsuperheroes. And now, let's go in for the close. Let's ask the final question now that we've discussed everything we've discussed. What would you change about this if you could change anything? Diana, what would you change?
I've got two pretty big changes. None of them will be surprising after what we discussed. One of them just got added because I came in before these two episodes aired. I'm like, I know my change, and then this other one happened. So my first change is he's going to have known Nico since they were kids. I don't think there's a reason they have to have just met at school. And then, like, they have been friends longer. It's more established. It's more built in. I like a lifelong friendship. And then it is a bit more of a betrayal for real when he doesn't tell her that he's Spider-Man. Maybe they've been through a lot together. He's known her since her family disappeared and she became a foster child or something. I like long friendships that mean a lot and are deep-seated. So I want Nico and Peter to have been friends for longer. I think that makes perfect sense, and that's what I would do. And then my second big change off the finale is the spider doesn't come from 4 months from now and it's filled with Peter's blood. It's a venom spider from the Venom planet, and that's how Peter got his powers, because that's really cool. And it's also unimitatable here on Earth. Like, that spider can just bite anyone now, or we could just put Peter's blood in any spider, I guess, and make a Spider-Man. It's way too easy to make a Spider-Man that way. But if you only have one Venom spider from Venomverse and it, like, dies after he bites him or something, then that's a cool way to only have one Spider-Man ever. And I like that. So yeah, it's a Venom spider, and Nico's been his friend since they were kids. Those are my big changes. Andrew, what would you change?
I absolutely like that. I think I'll piggyback with you off of that one. One of my changes would be that they don't establish what Aunt May does. She's like, I've got to run to work. I've got to run out. I've got to run to work. And we get this little tease at the end of the season that she's visiting Peter's dad. I want to say Richard Parker. I can't remember his name, though.
Man, Richard and Mary?
I don't know. Either way, the Parker's dad. But I guess she hasn't been doing that the whole time.
She's got a job.
She's got a job. I want it to be Feast. They use Feast in the movie. I think Feast is like one of the great recent additions to the Spider-Man canon that works for Peter and Miles, and it's just a great piece of the universe, and it makes it like a family that is about helping the community and giving back. So I want to know what May does. I want it to be Feast, and I think Feast would be a really good place for Nico and Peter to meet when they were younger as well.
Oh, that's a good one, because foster kids would probably go there.
Yes, yeah. Through community outreach and helping the community, and like Nico's foster parents, if they're fostering multiple children, probably are also helpful members of the community who are kind-hearted people who might know May. So I want to get Feast in. I really do think that it is such a powerful glue for what modern Spider-Man has been in terms of giving back to the community and wanting to be part of that. So I think that that's really important.
I like that a lot. I think it is important. There is like a weird, I think the restaurant he went to go to meet Norman was called Feast, which was so weird. Because I'm like, oh, this fancy restaurant's called, because I thought they were, because like the big sign that said Feast showed up.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
I'm like, oh, we're at Feast. That's great. I thought we were going to go see May at work. And then it was the fancy restaurant that Norman was in. I was like, oh, I don't like that. That's the opposite of what Feast is.
Yeah.
Fancy restaurant.
Huh.
It's food.
Yeah, it's like kind of a joke and reference, I guess, in that scenario.
But yeah, I agree. The outreach is nice. It means it's like the helping people's built into the family. It really shows Peter's been raised that way. It's a great way for him to like meet people who need help.
And it shows that like it is him and May and the environment that he grew up in. It's not about helping people because you have spider powers. It's about helping people in whatever capacity that you have to help your community, which means something different for everyone. But I think that that's a very sweet and kind message, and something that kind of expands the bubble of what Spider-Man has always meant and represented. So I want Feast to be in there, and then it just creates a good narrative opportunity for him and Nico.
I love that.
Boom.
Accepted. Law.
Gavel.
Feast.
Well, that's going to do it for this week on the podcast, talking about your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
He's our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Oh.
We own him. Do what we say, Spider-Man.
Getting weirder.
Yeah.
Next week, we are going to be back, and next week we're going to be talking about Snowpiercer.
Oh, yes, and lead up to Mickey 17.
That's right. We're going to be covering
Same director.
Mickey 17 in a couple of weeks. Next week, we're going to be talking about Snowpiercer. In the meantime, if you want to get a hold of us, you can find me online most places. I've been most active on Blue Sky lately. I'm at Ivimey, Ivimey.
You can find me on Blue Sky and Tumblr at Words of Diana and Instagram at Pics of Diana.
And you can find both of us most places at From Superheroes, and check out everything we create over on our website, FromSuperheroes.com. And we'll talk to y'all next week.
Bye.